Hello, magical people. How's everybody doing out there? My name's Meg Moonbeam, and welcome back to the Daily Astro Show here on the Meg Moonbeam and Beyond Mystic YouTube X, and usually Rumble, but Rumble is down at the moment for some reason. So sorry to all our regular Rumble viewers. Today's Daily Astro is on YouTube and X. So hopefully that gets sorted out with Rumble. I think I saw JC post something that there's been attacks on the Rumble platform. So hopefully that gets cleared up real soon. But regardless, thank you guys so much for joining me today. We're going to get into our Western astrological horoscope for today, Monday, May 12th, going until Tuesday, May 13th. And before we get into the astrology, as always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Meg Moonbeam and Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. If you'd like to have a personal astrology reading with me, those are available at the link in the description box below, consultations.beyondmystic.net. And also, our lovely Carla at Ascension Organites has a Beyond Mystic and Sending Ravens special edition natural candles sale going on. You can use code Beyond Mystic, all in one word, to get 10% off on the beautiful new Beyond Mystic and Tarot by Janine Sending Ravens candles. Very, very beautiful. Wow, we've got Sweden in the house. Hello, Sweden. Nice to see you. And Vermont. Hello, Vermont. I'm coming at you guys live from Belgium. Gemma says, hi, Meg. Hi, all. Happy full moon in Scorpio Monday. Yes, happy full moon in Scorpio, everybody. How are we doing out there? Okay, it is intense energies. And I think I said this yesterday on my Beyond Astro weekly forecast. I'm feeling the Scorpio extremes. You know, Scorpio is the sign that rules extremes and feeling really positive and good, and then extremes of very intense emotions. So if you are feeling it today in any sort of way, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, okay, you're not nuts. We've got exact full moon in Scorpio today, which I've done a whole separate video on my Meg Moonbeam channel for all 12 signs. But this is the day, you guys. This is a very powerful full moon portal for doing any sort of cleansing, removal of toxicity, letting go of self-sabotage patterns. You know, Scorpio in astrology rules self-sabotage, right? And Scorpios, like myself, we can be more prone to doing things that are not in alignment. Scorpio is the darker aspects of life, our shadow side. So this full moon in Scorpio is asking us to look at our shadow side, look at if we are doing any potential self-sabotage, if we're being overly controlling in an area, right? An amazing full moon to be doing release work physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Check where you have, if you'd like to, 22 degrees of Scorpio, because the house that you've got 22 degrees of Scorpio, any planets that you've got around 22 degrees of Scorpio, is the highlighted areas of life for you today, where you can be going through possibly a very big ending, transformation, even secrets, information being revealed. Scorpio also rules secrets and intensity. So it is a very intense energy. Jenny says, have to share as a Scorpio rising, had an intense situation driving home yesterday. Thank God I have Jupiter in my 8th house protection. Oh, Jenny, that is beautiful. I'm very happy to hear that for you. Sister Nobody, Scorpio rising on this Scorpio full moon. Yes. And if you are a fellow Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising, you will be feeling this most intensely. Or if you are one of the fixed signs, okay, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, you will be feeling this the most intensely for sure. So today, going into tomorrow, we are within the full moon in Scorpio portal. Okay, so big changes in our personal life. Scorpio, of course, also rules change. And in the collective, okay, very interesting. I know I shared this on, I think, yesterday when I did my P. Diddy trial weekly recap on my channel, but I just want to share this again. You know, we, of course, are having the P. Diddy trial really start with the opening statements this week within the portal of the full moon in Scorpio. And we also had recently, I believe this is recently because it's been circulating on X, RFK Jr. sharing, which many of you guys have maybe already heard this already, but Bill Gates is scheduled to face a civil trial in Europe on November 27th, where his attorneys will represent him. He's been indicted in the Netherlands for lying to the public about the COVID vax. He's going to have to go to trial, says Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. So let's take a little listen to this and see what RFK Jr. has to say.
And so he felt the need to do this. Now, do you think Bill Gates made that donation out of a patriotic impulse? Do you think he made it out of a humanitarian impulse? Do you think he made it because he wants global health? Or because he wants to make America healthy again? Well, there was something else, another article about Bill Gates that came out today that said he's just been indicted.
Woohoo!
He's been indicted in the Netherlands for lying to the public about the COVID vaccine. And he's going to have to go to trial. You think that he wants to go to trial here in the United States of America? You think maybe that's one of the reasons he chose to give $50 million to Kamala Harris?
Woo! So oh my God, it's wild, you guys. We are going to be seeing a lot more trials. And in my video that I did yesterday on P. Diddy, I really, really felt intuitively like we're going to see one trial after another trial after another trial. And makes sense because we're also in the Pluto retrograde that started Sunday, May 4th, and is going to go until October 13th. So yeah, seeing a lot of you guys are happy to hear that, yeah, Bill Gates, he's going to have to go to trial in the Netherlands. So we're seeing crime, seeing the dark side getting exposed in the collective. And also in our personal life, we can be seeing karmic justice being served as well. I see a comment here. Leslie, hi Leslie, says, road rage was wicked yesterday. Sun in 8th house natally. I turned around and went home. I wasn't good company. Yeah, Scorpio is extremes and intensity and emotional volatility. So as we're in the energy of this full moon portal today, going into tomorrow, also really until Thursday, don't be too hard on yourself. You guys, if you're having extremes in your emotions, moodiness, getting triggered really easily, this can all come up with a full moon in Scorpio, of course, and being aware of that with other people. Okay, it's very important to not take things personally from having to do with other people at this time. We will have the moon ingress into Sagittarius on Tuesday, May 13th. So emotionally, okay, that is bringing some lightness, that is bringing some relief, but we are still within the portal of the full moon, of course. And we are leading up to, on Thursday, we're going to have exact Sun in sextile to the North Node. So as of Tuesday, they will be within a 2-degree orb, right? And even as of Monday, they're in a very strong orb, 3 degrees. I don't know if you guys can hear, there's very loud thunder where I am in Belgium at the moment. We finally got our first thunderstorm, rainstorm. We've been having a drought lately. So you guys may hear some thunder or rain in the background. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. Yeah, we're leading up to this Sun sextile North Node, which is one of the most magical aspects in astrology, actually, that we can have. So we're within the influence of that, where it feels like to me with this full moon in Scorpio exact on Monday, Sun sextile the North Node on Thursday, if we do the shadow work, if we do the healing work of really facing whatever's coming up for us at this time that may be intense, may be uncomfortable or challenging, basically just being open to self-development and being honest with ourselves, there's beautiful magical opportunities that can come on the other side of this full moon portal. So yeah, let me know how you guys are feeling. It's intense. Okay, so full moon Scorpio, that is like a 10 out of 10 on the intensity scale. Please take it easy out there. Again, don't be hard on yourselves or be overly hard on others. And let's pull some cards, some tarot cards from the universe for today, going into tomorrow, this next couple days. With this full moon, with this Sun sextile the North Node, what is our guidance from the universe on how to deal with this? Okay, interesting. We've got King of Swords, Temperance, and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so the King of Swords, really cool card. Let's see if it wants to focus. Why doesn't it want to focus? Sorry, guys, we've got a new lighting situation. So there we go. King of Swords. Think things through from all perspectives. Precision, articulate, truthful, cautious, design and plans, controlled but determined. I feel like the King of Swords is saying be very mindful of your words and your communication today going into tomorrow while we're in this full moon portal. There can be a little bit more of a tensity. We've also got today also exact Mercury square Pluto. I forgot to say that. So can be some conflict coming up in our conversations. People easily triggered. Be very mindful of your words and communication today and how you're coming across. And if there's a very intense conversation that maybe needs to be had, of course, sometimes we have to have conversations when there's a Mercury retrograde or a full moon in Scorpio, but being very mindful of our conversation, how we are coming across to others. We are in one of the biggest healing portals of the whole year. So for me, Temperance is very much a card about healing, okay? Healing energy, moderation. The affirmation says, seek balance and create a calm atmosphere. So we are healing a lot through this full moon in Scorpio, where it is an alignment for us to make time for the healing work, whether that's shadow work, prayer, meditation, reflection, journaling. Okay, this is beautiful, beautiful energy. It's in alignment for us to be looking at ourselves, embracing the temperance, right? And we also can have, like, there's words on there, tranquility, serenity, realization. We can have huge personal breakthroughs and also collective breakthroughs with a full moon in Scorpio. The moon is at fall in Scorpio. Scorpio is the scariest sign in astrology, right? But, once we go through the darkness, we can step into the light and be true light workers, live from a conscious place, experience bliss. Scorpio also has to do with bliss. So as we face ourselves, as we face what needs to be released and what's no longer in alignment, there is beautiful healing and balance that can come. Interesting that we've also got the Eight of Pentacles, this full moon in Scorpio. So I feel like many of us will be releasing issues having to do with work, our values. I'm hearing authority positions. For many of us, there may be a theme with this full moon in Scorpio. And it is interesting because this is like an earth, pentacles are related to earth. The full moon in Scorpio is at 22 degrees, which is a Capricorn degree. I'm getting the sense that for many of us, there will be a release in work, income, our values, and our self-worth, right? Scorpio is one of the signs that rules power. So if you're going to be doing some journaling or reflecting with this full moon in Scorpio, something very powerful. If you don't know where to start, if you've never meditated, you've never done healing work, start with a pen and a paper. And I invite you guys to ask yourselves on this full moon in Scorpio, Do I feel empowered? Where in my life do I feel empowered? Where in my life do I not feel empowered? Where have I given my power away? Where do I need to call my power back? What are ways that I can call my power back? I did some shadow work the other day, and behind my Celtic calendar is hiding one of my personal journals. And I wrote out all the things that are kind of issues in my life at the moment, or things that I've been holding. And I am a Scorpio, so sometimes for Scorpios, it's hard for us to let shit go. Okay. But I wrote out like, I think around 15 things that are bothering me or are challenges right now, or I'm still holding like anger or grief or sadness about. So I wrote that in one column in my journal. And then in another column, I wrote, what is the feelings that I have about this situation? And then in the third column, I wrote, what can I do about this situation? And for some of the things, I left it empty. I didn't know what to do. I'm going to go back and do some journaling again later under the full moon in Scorpio. But for many of the things, actually, just by writing it out, just by speaking it out to myself, I came up with solutions, right? So it may sound kind of silly or simple, you guys, but when we actually make the time for self-reflection and for shadow work, which there's many different ways to do that, but one of my most favorite ways is to actually write things down or speak things out, talk myself through things. Clarity can come. So let me know if that resonates with you guys. You're welcome to take that practice if it resonates with you. And I'll just repeat that again. One way we can work with this full moon in Scorpio, do shadow work and healing work and taking our power back, is to write down all the things that are bothering you right now, or situations where you're holding heavy emotions, right? Anger, sadness, grief, guilt, rage, whatever it is. And then in another column, write, what is the emotion tied to this situation? And then in the third column, what can I do about this situation, right? What is the action I can take? How can I take my power back from the situation? And then you can burn it afterwards. Very good to burn things afterwards if we're putting kind of like heavy emotions, anger, suppression into something, to burn it afterwards to release it. Gemma says, yes, Meg, spot on. I was shown to write where, whom, given power to, and then burn, baby, burn. LOL. Okay, Gemma, we're on the same page. Cool. Awesome. A poet says, I want to do sunshine work. Yes, anytime is good to be doing sunshine work. And I'm so happy where I am in Belgium at the moment. We're actually having a really nice spring. It's raining right now, but we're having lots of sunshine. And I've been waking up every morning. And one of my personal, and you guys know, I keep it real. Okay, Scorpio, I keep it real. One of my personal self-sabotaging patterns that I'm working through at the moment is to not look at my phone within the first hour of me being awake. So personally, I'm working through, as soon as I wake up, I'm reprogramming myself to where I'm going to do something that nourishes me rather than takes away my energy. So the weather's been so nice here in Belgium. As soon as I wake up, and I've been doing it the past week or 2 weeks, I'm very proud of myself. I go outside, I just sit in the sun, take in the vitamin D, do my prayers. If I feel like doing a meditation, do a meditation, or do some grounding on the grass. And yeah, so that's one of the ways that I've been working with, a self-sabotage pattern. For all of us, that's in different ways. So yeah, Amber says, I'm changing my night habits very drastically. Yeah, it can become very apparent to us around a full moon in Scorpio, like what's toxic in our lives. And it can feel really intense in the moment. And it's very important for us to be gentle with ourselves and loving with ourselves and patient with ourselves, because to create new patterns, people say different things, but I do believe it takes like 40 days to create a new healthy pattern, right? Let's get a bonus card for us here. Oh my God, 2 bonus cards flew out. Ace of Cups. Come on, Ace of Cups. Let's focus. Does it not want to focus? Shoot, I think maybe because I have a comment up here. Just one sec. Hey, Linda. Yeah, Ace of Cups. There we go. So this is one of the most positive cards in the tarot. Open your heart and receive the emotions around you. Let yourself be in your emotions today. Okay. And as we release and acknowledge the heavy emotions, very positive emotions are coming. I feel like we may have an extreme of many of us may be feeling really intense with this full moon. And then by the time we get to Thursday or Friday, there can be a very big flip. There can be a very positive flip in our emotions, in our intuition, in our dreams as well. We've got the Queen of Cups, 2 cups cards flew out as our bonus cards. Be open to receiving the healing and nurturing you need. I love it. Something else I love to do when it's a full moon is to sit out, if it's actually no clouds and good weather, to sit out and just moon gaze. Just look up at the moon, stare at the moon, breathe in the nourishment, breathe out what no longer serves. So there's many different ways. Put in the comments, you guys, your favorite ways of working with the full moons, what you're letting go at this time. Okay, and before we finish up today's show, want to mention that Jens, my husband Jens, is going to be doing a discernment workshop over on the Beyond Mystic Academy. I forget what day this is. Let's check what day this is going to be. I think it's going to be live. Yeah, live on, is that a Sunday? Excuse me. Yeah, Sunday, May 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yenzi, as I like to call him, is going to be doing a discernment workshop. Very, very important during these times. Discernment. So you can go check that out if you'd like to at the Beyond Mystic Academy. Link is below. And there's a 10% discount code at the minute, MIND10, that you can go check that out. By enrolling in the discernment workshop, you're making a powerful commitment, not just to learn, but to reconnect with your intuition, sharpen your logic, and trust your inner knowing like never before. And Jens is someone who really walks his talk. So go check it out if it resonates with you. And also right after this, we've got coffee and chats over on Beyond Mystic for the coffee and chats members. I think today JC is going to be over on the coffee and chats. And of course, Beyond the News with JC and Janine on the Beyond Mystic Insider Access Pass. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's Daily Astro. I'm wishing you all a very happy, healing, blessed full moon in Scorpio. And I will see you all tomorrow on Beyond Mystic for the As Above, So Below show with my soul sister, Ashala. Love you guys so much and have a magical day.